guys, I'm going to do a quick react to this video by Modern King. I'll leave his link in the channel in the description. Let's go.
There's just something about men sleeping in that I can't stand.
All right, go ahead and add that one to the list.
Oh boy.
Like, I get it, I'm the problem, whatever.
It's so refreshing to see someone that's actually self-aware that, yeah, they're the problem.
As a man, why are you still asleep?
Well, here's a thought. Maybe he's tired.
You should be outside mowing the lawn.
Just imagine the progress that could have been made on that lawn if someone else had decided to do something nice for another person, but instead they decided to make a video about them sleeping in.
So I just cannot, I don't know. Wake up. Why are you all dainty still laying in bed? Why are you still sleeping? Get up. Go clock in. Okay, go build a house. Go clean the grill. I don't know. Find something to do. Wake up.
That's fucked up. Imagine if the role was reversed and a guy said the exact opposite and posted this on social media. You think we would allow that as a society? I really doubt that. Imagine a guy going, God, there's nothing bothers me more than a woman who doesn't wake up. Why don't you go to work? Why don't you go make me a sandwich? Why don't you go have a few babies? Get off your butt and go do something. You'd be crucified, man. I'm just telling you, the double standard is insane with these people.
I really don't think that some women actually want equality.
Yeah.
Or for that matter, maybe they just don't know what it means because they want all of the privileges that come with it. But heaven forbid they actually put in the same amount of work.
But none of the responsibility for sure.
Somebody help me. I don't know what to do. I'm a single mom doing her very best. Oh my God. I'm 655 days sober. I had to give my daughter up to her dad.
What?
Because I was so poor, so chronically poor. I quit OF in November because that does not align with me and it does not.
Let me get this straight. You had an OnlyFans. You had a kid. You quit, and I'm supposed to feel sympathy for you. You shouldn't have even been on OnlyFans in the first place. Like, the reason why men don't want women that are doing this OnlyFans crap is because it's demoralizing to you. Not to us. I mean, it's not empowering. You know, men don't want to see women go through this crap. I feel for you, but, you know, at the same time, you know, this is what happens when you get lied to by the feminist movement. They promise you don't need men, but lo and behold, we see case after case after case of women being dependent on men going, well, I don't need a man to provide for me. Well, you do. It's not just this woman, it's plenty of other women, you know? I'm strong and independent, I'm a boss babe, why can't I get a man? And then they post on social media, if you're independent, why are you posting on social media for views and attention? Why are you depending on men to provide your lifestyle if you're so independent? So your logic makes no sense. It's a lie. You do depend on men. You just don't want to admit it. You're dependent on what men allow. And since men allow a lot of this crap, I will turn it back around and blame the men that allow this crap in their life. So, young men, don't allow this crap in your life. It's gonna keep going if we keep allowing this kind of behavior to flourish in society.
Let me have the dignity that I deserve. I've been cleaning
You
houses
gave that
freelance
up when you decided to make OF.
for the last couple weeks to make money. My car was impounded by the police yesterday, so you know there's a ton of other errands you have to do to take care of everything before you can get the vehicle, which if it's there just a couple more days, it'll be over $1,000 that I owe. That doesn't include the fees to the police.
And this is the thing that most women don't think about is the consequences of actions, and then guess who's supposed to take responsibility for those consequences? The men. So why should we have to pay for your mistakes?
And then just now,
No one's out there to save us.
My ex-husband's
We can't
lawyer
go do
just called
that. You think
saying
anyone's
that
coming to
there's
save us
a
if we
hearing
were in
for
this
custody of
situation?
my
No, no
daughter,
one gives a crap about
and I don't know
us.
what any of it means. Please, someone help me.
So she did OF, divorced her husband,
Yeah.
lost custody, and got her car impounded by the police.
Exactly. It's like you did OnlyFans, you divorced your husband, lost custody of the kids because you couldn't take care of them, and then we're supposed to take accountability and responsibility for what you decided to do. Make that make sense.
Sounds like she can't make a good decision to save her life.
I do not cook for my husband. I only cook for my children. My husband will be making his own breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Number 2, I do not help him pay any bills. So if he is short on the rent, on utilities, or anything like that, it is not my problem.
My question is, why even post this? Why are women who are married posting their personal business on social media? That is so disrespectful. Stop doing this. If you have a problem with your spouse, talk to them. Do not post this on social media. The world does not need to know your business. You know what this tells me right here? You don't care about your marriage. You don't care about your husband. You want attention. You're dependent on attention. I swear, attention is like a drug for these women. They're addicted to it.
I will not be helping him out. His job is to provide for his family, so I am not financially contributing to any of the bills.
Funny how men are expected to provide, but women don't have to do anything, right?
Number 3, I do not do his laundry. I have my own laundry and my children's
Right
laundry
there.
to do, so he could do his own. I won't help him put it away. I won't help him fold anything. That's his responsibility.
A few moments later.
I've been crying all morning long. My husband told me that I needed to pack my stuff and get the house.
Good for him. I salute that man. Well done. This crap is exactly what I'm telling young men to not tolerate. You know? What did she do to earn anything that he's, And I'm not saying she has to sleep with him or whatever, because that's what people are going to say. I can see it now. Oh, you're saying she has to be blah, 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 and give it? No. She just needs to stop running her mouth and posting this crap. What's so hard about keeping your personal life personal between you and your husband, not posting on social media, and just cooking a meal? I do that all the time for my wife. I make her sandwiches. Hey, if I'm not in the mood, I'll go pick up a part-time gig and I'll go grab some pizza and give it to her. And you know what? She's happy about that. And we don't need to post our personal lives on social media. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Seriously.
Over 110 miles per hour. The skipper reached land about 3 hours ago and
What?
wait a minute. There's a person surfing a huge wave out there. Oh.
That's crazy.
The person was
Bad quality. That's freaking cool.
Split
Nice.
second, and I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, what the is wrong with you? I thought, I should have just stayed. I should have stayed. It wasn't
Another victim of feminism telling you that the grass is greener on the other side when it's not.
that bad. Like, you made it 23 years. You made 26 years total.
Turn the
Your
gas
kids
off.
are like college, and one's almost out of high school. Like, you made it. You
Wow.
made it. Like, it didn't matter at this point. They can do their own separate life and all that. You made it to the point where you guys were making so much money, and you had big houses, and you could do whatever you want, and you could.
Yeah, and the thing is I used to feel for these women, but it's like, they do this to themselves. It's like, after a certain point, you kind of have to wonder, who's the problem here, right? And there's exceptions to every rule, right? So, if I can admit that there's crappy men, can we admit that there's crappy women? Okay? Okay.
Relax. And I literally just called my friend and was like freaking out because, like, I'm my biggest I'm the biggest person that keeps in the back. Like, I'm terrified.
You are
I
your
don't
own
have
worst critic.
401k. My counsel did not have my back. I was so traumatized when I got out, and then terrorized for the next year that I couldn't even think straight to help the people that wanted to help me, and the people I entrusted to help me didn't help me. And there's just timelines that you can't stop. And so
It's not anyone's job to help you but yourself, so you should stop entrusting people to do things for you.
it is what it is. And
Welcome to equality. This is what you women wanted. We don't have people helping us as men. You know, we're expected to wake up, go to work, provide, and if we've got a problem with that, we're just expected to keep quiet, shut our mouth, and keep going, because society says what we say doesn't matter. We're only needed when it's convenient for people. This is what society tells you. I don't think this about men. I think men are the prize. I agree with a lot of those people that are saying men are the prize. And this is not a rant to tear down women. This is a rant to, like, help men and women understand that there's nothing wrong with being different. Women can still work and go do those things, but go be respectful, be humble, you know? I think a lot of men don't mind dating a woman who makes more money than him. But the problem is time and time again, we see women, when they make more money, they go, I think I can do better. Because it's just like a lot of people say, women are hypergamous. They're always going after the bigger, better thing. They're never satisfied, and again, women are dependent on men. Women don't want to go to work in the sewers. Women don't want to go be electricians. Women don't want to go be plumbers. Women don't want to go build homes. Women don't want to go do any of that because it's hard work. But guess what? If you want to enforce your will, those are the things that need to be done. And so until you can do those things, you will never be able to enforce your will. So therefore, you will always be dependent on other people to enforce your will and to enforce and enact what you want. This is why we see women lie, steal, manipulate, commit fraud, because they want all this stuff, but they don't want to work for it. That's really what it is. And I'm not making a bajillion videos on this anymore. This video just really resonated with me, so I wanted to react to it.
you know, I'm 47 years old. It's not like I'm 25. I'm healthy, kinda. I have an autoimmune disease, which means it's life-threatening for the rest of my life.
That's great.
Things can change. But it's not like I'm an invalid and can't do anything for myself. But it is terrifying. Like, I could have stayed. I was so mad that I did this way. I could have stayed. My life would have been so much easier. I could have just gone and done whatever I wanted.
Oh, boo!
Statistics say you are
Let me
probably
play
the
a
one that
sad
initiated
song for
divorce.
you on the world's smallest violin.
She's not sad. She divorced him. She's sad she can no longer have access to his money.
Yo,
Now, she has to get a job and support herself like an
and this is what Levi Nick said, and I agree with him on this. Women aren't marrying for love anymore. They're marrying for money. It's like they're addicted to money now. Money's their drug. They're slaves to material things. And that's just not what men want.
adult, rather than taking advantage of her ex-husband's generosity.
I mean, maybe I'm
I
wrong.
don't
Feel
know
free to
what
put
she
it in the
thought was
comment.
going to
Maybe I'm
happen when she
completely out of
decided
touch.
to
Maybe
up
I'm
and
just
leave for
an
no
old
reason. But
millennial.
I'm sure the ex-husband isn't losing any sleep over it.
For sure. Men being men. Oh, a tree. It looked like a tree fell down or something. The guy's like, yo, you need help? I got this, bro. That's pretty cool. So it just looks like they're just cutting it into sections. Dude, if that was me, I would have taken some of that stuff home. I'd take some of that wood home for my fire. I don't have a fireplace, but I'll just throw it on a freaking fire pit. Build a fire pit out in the mountains and have freaking firewood for a whole night. Be sick, dude. It's dead. It's a dead tree. That's sick as hell, bro. Good on these guys for clearing out a road hazard. Salute you.
Women are the ones who initiate divorce the most, but they're also the ones that are hit the most financially. This is another thing I found fascinating. right? Women's household income falls by 41%. Wow. Right?
Average,
Following
yep.
a divorce or separation. So does that mean we just shouldn't get divorced until after 50? Like, are we just safer if we wait till then?
Men are typically the breadwinners. When you divorce him and take his house, the household income is obviously going to drop.
Yup.
However, notice how it only fell by 41% when men are typically the breadwinners. This is because our system incentivizes divorce
Exactly.
and still requires the man to financially support the ex-wife.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like back in when this whole no-fault divorce was created, people weren't really divorcing that often. And the whole no-fault divorce was supposed to be made for... It was really meant for women, you know, that it was no fault. So meaning they could cheat on the spouse and the court would just be like, okay, well, that's fine. You're gonna get half of your husband's assets and then start over. And the sad thing is it's all too prevalent now of women just doing this to make a quick buck, you know, and I think that's one of the big reasons why a lot of men are just not getting married, because there really is no incentive for men to really get married and settle down and have a family, because you just don't know now. You know, you don't know if you're gonna go marry a complete psychopath that all they care about is screwing you over.
So the statistic she talked about is rather deceiving, as it aims to portray women as victims of divorce. But when we apply basic logic and context, we quickly see that's not true.
Women who are married and like 40 think, oh yeah, I'll just get a divorce because I'm still hot. I'm going to be hot like that. It's like, first of all, you're not even as hot as Dolly Parton is right now. Second of all, take your old patootie home. And be thankful you have a man who tolerates you.
So I initially just...
Alright, well, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, you shouldn't be marrying someone you tolerate. You should be marrying somebody you love and you want to build a future with, but it's really rare to find a woman that actually wants that, right? That actually will love you for you and not for what you can provide. So a lot of men, and I would have to agree with a lot of the influencers out there, I would date a woman for 3 to 5 years before I even think about considering her for marriage material. And if she starts asking about marriage during that, I would just break up with her, because it's obvious what she wants at that point, and I'm just the type of person that I don't tolerate crap. I don't care how small it is, because the moment you let something small, it builds up. It's a snowball effect. Well, it's not a big deal, they'll say. Well, guess what? It is to me, and you're not paying my bill, so shush. But, yeah, I think a lot of women have been sold this lie that the grass is always greener on the other side. And the other thing of these women saying they're 10s, it's like, I think it's fine. Okay, love yourself, have self-confidence, right? No one's saying you should feel ugly. And to kind of touch on women's problems, because I was discussing this with my wife, you know, I think society as a whole pressures women into, like, you're only attracted to a man if you buy a lot of makeup and you're skinny and you this and that. And it's like, I don't think that's necessarily true. There's plenty of men that will date women as long as she's taking care of herself, you know, average body weight, not completely overweight, and she's working on herself, she's going to the gym, she's doing that stuff. And because she's willing to work on herself, a lot of men are willing to date them, because it's like, I think a lot of men it's not something that you just magically, you know, do. You're not just magically fit one day. It's a process, and it takes work, and it takes commitment. So for me, if I was single, and I saw that, I saw a girl that was like maybe around my body type, which I'm slightly overweight, a little, but not completely. And she was like, yeah, I go to the gym twice a week. I do, and I'm watching what I eat, and I'm planning on going to the gym more, but right now I've got some things with work or whatever it may be, right? I would go date that woman, because it's like, okay, she's working on herself, she's trying to better herself, and that's good. That's good things. You want to surround yourself with good people, with people that are willing to better themselves. You know, you don't want to be with a woman that doesn't want to do anything, that doesn't want to better herself, that thinks she's just deserved everything for nothing, because it's like, and it's a relationship is give take, you know, you give, they take, and vice versa, you take, they give. But if you're just constantly giving and they're taking, it's never going to work. But let's see what Lady J has to say.
Responded to this comment.
Why do you like
And
men?
I said, because men are people, just like everyone else. And apparently that was so offensive that this person had to block me. What exactly was so offensive about my saying that men are people?
I'll tell you right now, Lady J. I'll give you a free one. I think that's your name. I've heard everyone say your name's Lady J, so apologize if I got it wrong. Because it's a trend right now to treat men like crap. It's only getting more normalized that if you're a man, you're part of the problem because of the patriarchy, right? We've heard that before. If you're a man, you're the reason why the gender pay gap exists, which has been debunked hundreds, if not thousands of times, and I'm just going to TLDR it for you. The reason why women are making less is because they're choosing careers that pay less. They don't want to do the careers that pay more, which is generally oil rigging. Don't see women doing that. Automotive work, generally don't see women doing that. Electrician, generally see very few women doing that. Construction, again, you see very few women doing that. These traits that have the women in them are maybe 1 to 3%, you know. But we're not people to society. We're just slaves and tools to be used. I mean, we see it in the court system. You work hard, you get married, you get screwed over. You're expected to provide, and if you're considered entitled and ungrateful if you ask for anything in return. If you just ask for a simple thank you, you're considered this terrible person. If you even explain to specific women that men have issues too, you're taking and invalidating women's suffering. You're the villain. We're the villains. And that's just you just kind of have to deal with it because, you know, there's not enough people that give two craps.
It's almost
Sad,
as
but
if
true.
some out there need reminding that men are people, and we shouldn't dislike them just because they're men. That really says a lot, doesn't it?
They call it Men's Mental Health Month.
Wrong.
Then where are the marches?
And no one cares.
Where's the lavish parades? Where are the ribbons?
No
Where's
one
the
cares about
slogans in
men's
every
mental health.
company's email? Or their marketing campaigns? No. When a man falls, we don't mourn him. We mock him, dissect him, and then erase him. Because to be a man these days is to be an enemy.
Yup.
To be needed is to be resented. The world whispers, men are not needed. Men are dangerous. And then pretends to care when that same man leaves this world in silence. We have bred a culture that tells a young boy that they are toxic before they are old enough to shave. That their strength is a threat. That their opinion is oppressive. And their very presence is unwelcome. So they grow quiet. They grow colder, then gone. The suicide notes of men are the final drafts of the story society refused to read. They don't scream. They don't yell. They just vanish. Every 13 minutes, a man leaves this world. Not because he was weak, but because the world convinced him he was unworthy of his own existence. So this month, we don't want your pity. We want your respect. Because men are not broken women. We are not your scapegoats. We are your fathers, your brothers, your friends. We are the buried. And if this world keeps pretending it can live without us, then you better be ready to live with the blood on your hands. This month is Men's Mental Health Month. Give it the damn respect it deserves.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. And I just want to touch on that. I had a cousin that ended his life because a multitude of different issues, you know, just a bad family life he grew up in, and he didn't really get the best of opportunities, and there was nothing that any of us could really do to help him. We all wanted to, but we couldn't. And it sucked, and I don't really agree with that, you know. Ending your life is not the answer, you know. You are needed and you are wanted, and this is one of the big reasons why this video really resonated with me. So, you know, if you're going through that, you know, young men or women, you know, it doesn't matter what you got between your legs. Know that there are people out there that love you and care about you, and they don't want, I'm getting really emotional here, sorry. You know, they want to see you succeed and thrive, and, you know, if you were gone, that would really, really, really hurt them. So, you know, you are, you know, I care about young men and young women that are lost, and, you know, this is why people do this, is because they care. They want, you know, I don't want to see women subjecting themselves. I'm fine if women work. I'm fine if men work. I just want people to get along, you know. But I think, you know, I don't know who this creator is, makes a really good point. It's just, I just want men and women to be able to sit down and have a conversation about what is the expectation that they go through. Because if we can't sit down and have that conversation and really look at the deeper truths, then we're never going to progress as a society. We're constantly going to be in this circle of infighting of, oh, well, women have it worse, no, men have it worse. And, you know, we all have a shit pie to eat, as they say. So maybe let's put our pride aside and our, you know, we've all been victims, you know. Let's put that aside and let's have a discussion. You know, I'd love to hear your comments. And I hope I can build a community of just men and women that we can all listen to each other and we can all have a discussion, hopefully learn from each other, because I believe that's what life is about. We all are unique. We're all different. We all have different experiences, good and bad. But we can all learn from each other and we can all grow and we can uplift each other and encourage each other to be the best versions of ourselves as possible. Anyways, thank you for watching, and see you next time.